The Progress Out of Poverty Index, or PPI, is a poverty measurement tool for organizations with a mission to serve the poor. This presentation by Grameen Foundation explains the process by which new PPIs are made and existing PPIs are updated. The PPI is statistically sound, yet simple to use. The answers to 10 questions about a household's characteristics and asset ownership are scored to compute the likelihood that the household is living below the poverty line or above it by a narrow margin. With the PPI, organizations can identify the clients, customers, or employees who are most likely to be poor or vulnerable to poverty, integrating objective poverty data into their assessments and strategic decision-making. The creation of each PPI is a collaborative process between Mark Schreiner of Microfinance Risk Management, LLC, the developer of the PPI, partner organizations, and Grameen Foundation. The process begins when organizations or individuals contact Grameen Foundation and express their interest in a new or updated PPI. Interest can be expressed directly to the Social Performance Management Team or to regional specialists via direct email or the contact form on our website at progressoutofpoverty.org. For a list of existing PPIs, please see our website. Once interest has been expressed, the next step is acquiring the data from a recent nationally representative household-level expenditure or income survey. This is an essential part of PPI development as all questions in the PPI are derived from the national survey. Most importantly, we need the household-level microdata and not the aggregated results. This means we have information about how each household answered the questions so the necessary statistics can be run. Also important for making a PPI are the questions used, the enumerator manual, poverty reports and documentation of poverty lines, and any additional supporting documents. Once the data is obtained, Grameen Foundation's partner, Mark Schreiner, developer of the PPI, completes the relevant analysis to determine the 15 to 20 indicators to be used in the draft PPI survey. The indicators generally include information about assets, education, demographics, and employment. Each question must be 1. Strongly correlated with poverty, 2. Easy to answer, and 3. Liable to change over time. For more information regarding the process of building the tool, please see the video entitled How a PPI is Made on our website. With this set of draft indicators in hand, it is time to assess the quality of those indicators with the goal of selecting 10. To assess the quality of the draft indicators, Grameen Foundation uses a two-part process, field testing and virtual user review. Grameen Foundation sends an online survey of the draft indicators to different stakeholders for review. They provide feedback on the clarity, relevance, and feasibility of the indicators. For example, draft indicators may be sent to people in government, pro-poor organizations, academia, and other contexts within the country. Questions asked include, can this question be construed as offensive or inappropriate? Is this indicator relevant? Is this question confusing or difficult to understand? Is the information easily collectible? Among other questions. For field testing, Grameen Foundation partners with one or more pro-poor organizations in the country and gets feedback from field staff who will be using the PPI in the future. A focus group will be conducted in which field staff will be asked for their opinion on the indicators based on their experience in the field in a particular country. After this focus group, the field agents administer the draft PPI to their clients and gather responses. They provide feedback to Grameen Foundation and Mark Schreiner about the experience and any suggestions they may have. This is a qualitative process. The goal of field testing is to answer the following. Were certain questions difficult for clients to understand? Was the wording confusing? How could it be improved? Were some questions embarrassing to ask? Were any irrelevant? Is each question as clear as possible? By putting the indicators through user review and field testing, Grameen Foundation aims to make the PPI as relevant and user-friendly as possible. These steps are vital to ensuring the sensitivity and accuracy of each PPI. Now that the draft indicators have been reviewed and tested in the field, the feedback is utilized to determine a final survey of 10 questions. The 10 indicators are easy to understand, culturally appropriate, and are strongly correlated with poverty. The documentation available for each PPI includes the scorecard, which is a one-page sheet of 10 final indicators. It includes the questions, possible answers, and equivalent scores. The scorecard is what field staff will take to the field when collecting information. Attached to each scorecard are lookup tables, which allow users to estimate the likelihood of poverty relative to a variety of poverty lines. The interview guide helps explain key terms and concepts. For example, how do you define a household? The design documentation memo contains all background information and tables related to the PPI and how it was derived. The sample size calculator uses relevant country data to help organizations determine the ideal number of participants to survey. At a minimum, the scorecard and lookup tables will be translated into the relevant local languages. Finally, these documents are published to progressoutofpoverty.org, where the PPI scorecard and supporting documents are available free of charge. From start to finish, the entire process of building a new or updated PPI will generally take between 3 and 6 months. Key factors in determining the length of the build include the amount of time it takes to obtain the relevant dataset and in planning and executing the field test. In terms of cost, an average PPI will range between $15,000 and $25,000 US for the entire build process. To review, there are 6 steps to making a PPI once funding has been secured. 1. Interest. 2. Acquire data. 3. Draft PPI. 4. Assess indicators. This is done through user review and field testing. 5. Material development. 6. Publish and launch. If you have questions or are interested in a PPI, please contact us at www.progressoutofpoverty.org.